Good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday at about 10 o'clock in the morning, and it's a beautiful day today. And today I will be doing, well, I'm going to title it June Garden Tour. I said I was going to do a tour every weekend, but we're really traveling a lot. And I didn't really take that into consideration when I said, yeah, I'm going to do a tour every week. Like, well, we keep going places, so so that's not really going to work out like I was thinking in the moment. I wasn't really thinking in the moment when I said that. We're actually headed to North Carolina this weekend for a little Father's Day getaway in the mountains. We're going to be doing some rafting on the Nantahala River and tubing and hiking, and I'm really looking forward to that. So I figured we'll go ahead and do a June garden tour today. The birds are just singing, and the hummingbirds have been out and about. It's been a lot of fun to watch the birds, especially the hummingbirds. He's finally discovered my little feeder here, and he loves all the little salvia plants that I've put out for them. So it's been a joy to watch them. But I'm just gonna do a little walk around. A lot of the roses are not blooming right now, but there are some in bloom, but most of them are kind of in a lull at the moment. The first full flush has happened already. So, but I did plant up some new containers like this one here that I will be happy to show you. That's a geranium. We've got a sweet potato vine, and this is Super Beena Stormburst, which has really beautiful flowers. I've grown this one before, and I just love the lavender and white combination. It's so beautiful. Here you can see the hydrangeas have recovered nicely, but no blooms. I'm hoping we might get some blooms, maybe in the fall. We'll see. Hopefully we'll be surprised with some. I tell you though, like, not having blooms this year sure does make me realize how much I love them and how much I miss them. So, and those of you, if this is your first time watching, these hydrangeas right here used to be taller, a little bit taller than this Edgeworthia shrub. That's how tall they were. They were really high up there, about 6 feet tall, maybe a little bit taller. And the Arctic cold weather that came through in December just really knocked them back. I mean, they died all the way back to the ground. That's why you kind of still see there's some sticks in here. I could really probably cut those out. But there's just been a lot more going on in the garden right now, so I haven't really had the chance to do that. But I'm thankful that they have, you know, they're at a good size already, and it's, you know, we're in the second week of June. So I say they're doing pretty good considering how harsh this winter was. All the hanging baskets are doing well. I've got just white geraniums in my hanging baskets. I've been feeding those with Maxi once a week. And here's my little wall of geraniums here, which are also white. And then I haven't had the fountain, I did have it up and running for a little bit, but the pump wasn't really working very well. I think we need to disassemble it and really clean out the whole pump in order for it to work properly. So it's just been kind of sitting here for the moment. But this little bank of roses next to the fountain is called Zade, and the June bugs are out, as you can see. June bugs, aka Japanese beetles. And I usually just end up flicking them off If I want to get really serious about it, I'll carry a bucket of soapy water and flick them off in the bucket. But even that, I don't really end up doing that. The best thing to do to try and minimize Japanese beetle infestation is to spread Milky Spore in the soil every year. And that will kill the grubs in the soil. And so, sometime this year, we, later on in the summer, we could do that to help prevent them from coming back. But here's a nice little container I set up yesterday. We've got a coral geranium with more sweet potato vine and that stormburst verbena. And then I just did the same thing over here. And then this here, I finally cleaned up this little section. So we've got an Angelica sedum. We've got, gosh, what is this? I can't think of it right now. Silver Falls. And a little clematis right here. Lots of pool toys out because we've been having fun in the pool. Oh, and my agapanthus are starting to bloom, which is exciting. I've got 3 super petunia bubblegums, which will completely take over this whole pot. It will be nice and big. In a month, it'll look completely different. So when I do a July tour, or even if I can, if I do a tour when we get back, you're gonna be like, wow, that's the same little plants? It's amazing how quickly they grow. I mean, as you can see, look at these. Those petunias have gotten huge since I planted them. And I did this, a few weeks ago? 2 or 3 weeks ago? And this is the Wave series, I believe. The salvia is doing great, which the hummingbirds and the bees love. This is another exact same thing as over there with the salvia and the coral petunias. And then I potted this up yesterday with some more stormburst verbena and another coral geranium. Woo! Pool cleaner almost got me. Oh, and back here, you'll see Moonlight in Paris. Roses are blooming. Let's see if I can get closer so you can see better. Aren't those beautiful? Okay, let me try and get out of here. The limelights are about to start blooming, which I'm so excited. I'm hoping that the blooms are a lot bigger this year. Last year the shrubs were huge, but the blooms were very small. They were very prolific, but very small. And I was hoping to get less blooms, but bigger blooms. So I'm hoping that by pruning them the way I did, that should happen. Here's Moonlight in Paris. Beautiful color rose. I absolutely adore it. And I think it's great over here by the pool. Oh, let me not forget this little corner over here. There really isn't much going on, but I just want to show you. There's a lot of hydrangeas in here that aren't blooming because of that crazy weather. Normally these are covered in beautiful purplish pink blooms. And man, I really miss it this year. Oh, the anemones are going a bit crazy. Okay, let's go in the back. Oh, forgot this little guy. He needs to be set out too. Oh, these containers have really, look at these. These have really taken off since I planted them. Oh, looks like the geranium is getting a little crowded. But isn't that beautiful? There's a geranium in the center with sweet potato vine and white verbena. And I did each container with the same setup. Looks like the geraniums are having a hard time keeping up with that. Okay, look at how big all these hydrangeas have gotten. Oh, how exciting. Here's the rose garden. And then back there is the woodland garden. And the trampoline is going soon, y'all. I swear it is. I'm so tired of looking at that thing. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to be patient. Trying. But as you can see, there's some things blooming in the rose garden, but it really has calmed down a bit. Here's Roberto Alagna, which is gorgeous. Look at that color. Oh, I love it so much. Here's Pallotina traviata. Here is Heavenly Scented. Isn't that beautiful? And it does smell very good. Very like you get the rose scent, but you get a citrus scent as well. Isn't that gorgeous? I'm so glad I got this rose. This was like a last minute purchase. And I got this from Menagerie Farm online, Beirut. Very, very happy with it. Because I love the color too. The color is just fabulous. It's gorgeous. Let's come in here. Here's Lasting Love. Beautiful rose. And again, there's not too much going on right now in here, but this one has flopped over a bit. This one's called Anne Vanderlove. And this one is Over the Moon. Beautiful color rose. Let's see here. The poppy beds have faded out, which it's now time to clean that up. And let's see, what else? Oh, as you can see, you see a little drift of hydrangeas back there. I just put those out last night. I made a stop at Scottsdale's farm yesterday, and they just had a big grouping of gorgeous Invincible they're called Invincible Sublime hydrangeas. And that's from the arborescens category of hydrangeas. And I love how it looks back here, where you just see little puffs of white dancing above the roses. I mean, just like, I think this is just a perfect spot for them. Let's walk around the roses so you can see how it looks along the path. And I'm just gonna pop this one right here for now because I'm tired of holding it. But look from this angle, isn't that beautiful? I pretty much set everything out where I think I want it to go. I like to set stuff out first before planting, let it sit there for a little while, make sure that I like it there, and then, you know, a few days later when I know for sure, okay, this is where I want it, then I go ahead and plant it. But I think here with the hostas in the front, that just gives a nice little bright pop. This hosta is called Stained Glass. And I got them from Lowe's. But isn't this just the most beautiful blooms? And excuse the construction noise. There's always something going on around us. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, I love it so much. I think this is just a really nice drift of hydrangeas kind of dotted through here. And then I've got the hostas in the front. These are hostas from Walmart, actually. I just saw these at Walmart and I was like, you know what? They're pretty cheap and they have that blue, like, you know, blue silvery color to them, so I think they would be nice. I need to add more like blue hostas to my garden. I feel like I have a lot of variegated, well, there's kind of a blue one right there and right here, but I don't have a lot of them, and so I'd like to incorporate some more into the garden. This hosta right here is a Shadowland Seducer. But I am just loving these here. I think they're so beautiful. These kind of hydrangeas will bloom no matter what. They're always blooming. You don't have to worry about cold weather. You don't have to worry about anything. They're kind of like the no fuss hydrangea, extremely tough. You can just plant it and like you don't have to mess with it. You don't have to, I mean, you could fertilize it, but I don't think you really even need to. But I'll put up what type it is on the screen so you can, you know, search for it. There's a bunch of different types of arborescens. Annabelle is the native variety, I believe. The only thing with the Annabelles, which actually I have, if you could see, do you see those back there? Those are Annabelles, and they're gorgeous, but they flop very easily. So you just have to keep that in mind. Sometimes they need a little bit of support, or if you're okay with them flopping, or if anybody has tips on how to keep them more upright, please share your thoughts and ideas, because they're gorgeous hydrangeas, but if a big rainstorm comes through, they will flop to the ground. Supposedly these newer varieties though are not supposed to do that. So that's why I've been trying to focus on bringing in some newer varieties into my garden. Over here you can see there's a lot of weeding to do, and there's a few bare spots in here from things that I did lose over the winter. So I'll eventually get in here and clean this out and assess what else I can put in here as far as that goes. And then that's a whole big weedy mess over there too. But we're traveling a whole lot this summer, and so we're just not going to be able to get as much done as we'd like to get done, which is fine. that's how it happens. You know, we love to travel. Like I'm a complicated person. I love traveling, but I'm also a homebody, if that even makes sense. Does it make sense to some of you? So, we're really taking advantage of traveling this summer, going to North Carolina this weekend. And then after, a week after July 4th, we're going to Yosemite and spending a couple of days in San Francisco, which I'm so excited about. Here's the new pop star hedge that we just planted, which I'm absolutely in love with. It's so beautiful. And once all these ferns get big enough to where they're, you know, they've filled in these gaps, it's gonna be so gorgeous and just wispy, and oh, I'm so excited about it. It's gonna look amazing. And then here's some more of the, not Annabelles, they're arborescens hydrangea, but these are called Incredible, which these are supposed to stay more upright, which I think they are living up to their name as far as, you know, staying more upright. If you know, we'll go check out the Annabelles and see how floppy they are right now compared to these. And there's more Incredibles back here. And then one kind of hiding back here. Very beautiful though. And the pollinators absolutely love them. Update on the grass situation. We've been getting more quotes from local landscapers, and we've had to get several. Some people are just, you know, extremely astronomical with their pricing. But I think we finally found some reasonable people to where we can do this and not kill ourselves in the pocketbook. So hopefully, I'm hoping next month in July we can take care of this. Here's our little bank of summer crush hydrangeas that we just planted recently. Isn't that beautiful? I love that little stamen thing in the center. I don't know what you would call that, but that's just so beautiful. These are now starting to get on my nerves because they are flopping everywhere, these Snapdragons. So I am thinking I'm going to cut them back, and I'm pretty sure if you cut them back, they're supposed to grow back up again, I think. I'm not like I'm not super knowledgeable on Snapdragons, but I'm pretty sure if you cut them back, they will come back out. So I think it's time to do that because they're like flopping all over the place and it's driving me crazy. The lilies are about to bloom. And my little container over here, oops, sorry, it's bumpy, is looking really beautiful. That's a variegated coleus with, what is that called? New Guinea impatiens. Just had to think for a second. But isn't that, look at how beautiful those hydrangeas are over there. The white blooms brighten up that space in the garden so much. I mean, I am super excited about that. That's gorgeous. It would be really nice to get some more and bring them out through here onto the other side of the rock. If only I had all the money in the world, right? We have to do Do things one step at a time. Let's go down this way. As you can see, these, I need to come in here and deadhead Earth Angel. And Pompanella is fading. This section of the garden back here has been very much neglected. We have not done anything back here at all this year because we've been so focused on getting all of this over here taken care of. And I've said it so many times, this little junk pile here is really getting on my nerves. I've got to obviously prune back these citrus trees that recovered from that late frost we had. But yeah, none of these hydrangeas are blooming, which is just such a bummer. But they will eventually. But yeah, this pathway back here really needs some attention. So does the ferndale. Quite a bit of weeds in there. But look at this beautiful oak leaf. That is one gorgeous oak leaf hydrangea. I think this one is called Alice. He's either Alice or Sem's Beauty. I can't remember. Beautiful blooms though. This one here is a little bit different. See how this is a little bit of a different structured bloom. I'm just not sure which is which. That's something I'm gonna have to Google. Yeah, this area is a little bit more shabby than the rest. Everything is doing fine over here. Looks like the lilies have started blooming. Let's look at those. Look at that beauty. And I see Madame Anisette has kind of flopped over a bit too here. Not too much of a scent right now. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's because I cut them back so far, but they have grown, and then they flop. And that's not the case for every single rose, but I have noticed it being a little bit more prevalent this year. Okay, here we've got wedding bells. Isn't that a beauty? Let me see how it smells. I'm not getting too much of a scent this morning. And then here's my line of Kiss Me Kate roses. Let's see here if I can show you. Wow, isn't that beautiful? Oh, those are gorgeous. So pretty. Oh, it looks like we've got something going on. Some sort of pest. Have to keep an eye on that. Probably need to come and spray. Oh, wow, look at the basil. The basil has grown a whole lot. Oh, I love the way basil smells. It smells so good. Beautiful Kiss Me Kate. And then I've got some annuals in here, some verbena, bubblegum super petunia, more Kiss Me Kate, and then some of the raspberries are actually ready and ripe to eat. Isn't that awesome? Oh my gosh, those taste so good. Wow. I can't believe none of the birds have gotten them yet. Those taste amazing. Holy smokes. This is the first time I've had like freshly homegrown raspberries. That flavor, like, I mean, I can't even describe it. It tastes like you're eating jam, but it's fresh from your garden. Wow, that's amazing. Okay, I gotta pop all these in my mouth. That is really good. There's a lot more. I'm gonna have to get the kids out here. Okay, here are the Annabelles. Isn't that gorgeous? Now see how they flopped a bit here due to heavy rains. And as you can see, there's a weed in here. Pull that sucker out. I'll stick it over here for right now. Isn't that beautiful? I love how this pathway has turned out with the stacked, the flagstone and the ferns and the white blooms. It's just beautiful. Okay, here's our side pathway, which it needs a little bit of fixing up in my opinion. The hydrangeas, some made it through, some did not. They got hit pretty hard this year with the cold, so the two back there, it looks like they didn't make it, so I'm gonna have to replace those. These are the bigger ones are the Dear Dolores hydrangeas, and then Summer Crush is the smaller. And then I've got Bloom Struck in here. Looks like that one barely made it. So yeah, this one is, and I don't know, maybe it's just because there's not a consistent water in here, but the plants have stayed on the smaller side. And again, you know, a lot of these I planted last year, so I may need to have some patience. And obviously these stay on the smaller side to begin with. They're not huge plants. So patience goes a long way in the garden. And when I planted all the hostas in here, they were all very small bare root hostas. So they were extremely small to start off with. I did put some hostas in these containers back here, along with some Japanese painted ferns. Looks like the ferns are not doing so well, but the hostas are holding ground. There's Pompanella. Time to prune. And now we're heading into the front yard, where we've got Lavender Baby Blue. Isn't that beautiful? And Sweet Mademoiselle. Sweet Mademoiselle. This was planted just a couple months ago. All 3 of those rose bushes. We've got some nice containers. Looking beautiful. And some beautiful, oh, camera focus. There we go, some beautiful begonias. I'm very happy with these containers. They've turned out very well. They're so pretty. And then I've got another caladium back here with silver falls, the dichondra. I love the veining in that, it's really pretty. And then I've got all of my pothos plants that I purchased over the winter, and I had them above my fireplace on the fireplace mantle. I brought them out here. They needed to get more sun. They were starting to struggle inside a bit because where our fireplace is, that room is a pretty dark room because it's on the back side of the house. This is our front yard, which is south facing. So the front of our house gets a lot more sun. Oh, here is black and blue salvia. The hummingbirds love this plant. Every morning they come up here and I will usually sit there on the sofa and have my tea and watch the hummingbirds come visit this plant. We got this area all cleaned up. Here's another sweet mademoiselle rose. Oops. Camera's having trouble focusing today. Beautiful color. Some more limelight hydrangeas. And all my tomatoes. Some are starting to ripen up. And this is our little work area and our driveway. This hydrangea here, I believe, is called candy apple. It's always my first hydrangea paniculata to bloom. Beautiful color. Is it not focusing? There we go. And then here's the pollinator garden. Claire Matin is still blooming. And the hydrangeas are doing well. My hydrangeas are always the star of the show in June. That and the daylilies. This daylily is called, I think it's called Insider Trading. It was actually a free daylily that I got with my purchase when I bought all these daylilies years and years ago. And I never would have chosen it because I am not a huge fan of red, but it does well, so I leave it here. Here's this pretty thing. Look at that bright yellow. So beautiful. Right here, this is a limelight prime. Wow, it's really having trouble focusing today. Limelight prime. This is a bobo hydrangea. And here's my bed of dahlias and Grace Rose Farm roses. This is a Jador. very teeny tiny blooms right now. Ashley didn't make it, unfortunately. And I had emailed Grace Rose about it and have not heard back. It's been over a week now. So I think I'm gonna have to email them again and see if they can hopefully replace it for me, because I don't know what happened. I mean, everything else around it is thriving and doing very well. So when I planted it, it didn't really look like it was in the best condition. So it doesn't hurt to see if they will offer a replacement. Here's Miranda Lambert. Big fluffy rose. Let's see if I can help it open up a bit. It's kind of been staying at this stage here. Oh, it smells so good. Beautiful, beautiful fragrance there. Okay, guess we'll cover the couple more front areas and then the full tour is pretty much done. Still not too much going on here. All dressed up is still blooming, but almost done. And I've already trimmed back Summer Romance and Cinderella Fairy Tale. Thankfully, this gardenia has leafed out. Oh, I'm so glad I didn't lose that. Here's a little teeny tiny bloom of Princess Charlene DeMonico with the Japanese beetle taking up residence. Oops. Everything is done with its first flush and working on its second. Ooh, Japanese beetles have done a number on this one. Wow. The grass is looking amazing. So lush and green. This is zoysia. Such a beautiful grass, and it feels so good when you walk barefoot. Here is that quick fire fab. This is the first year it's bloomed, which is exciting. And we've got a purple butterfly bush here. Scent hasn't been released quite yet. All the roses are lolling a bit in here. The quick fire fabs are starting to bloom. Here's my bobos. I need to come in and prune the salvias so they can get enough energy to bloom again. And then all these daylilies are pretty much done and bloomed out. But the Emperor one is still looking beautiful, as always. It does every year. So that's the garden, guys. That's what's happening in June as of right now. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll probably do a video when we get all those hydrangeas in the ground in the back. And that's really it. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and I hope you're having a great summer, and just enjoy every moment you can when you get outside. I mean, just look at this day. It's so beautiful. So I hope you guys have a great week, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.